I have truly found my calling. I don't know if I was lost. I don't know if it was lost, but my purpose was given to me through the MRA. It was just that we peeled back enough layers that I was given permission to look and to say, wow, I might be actually really good at this. These people are responding to me in a certain way, whether it was in class or my mentor coaching calls or people I was coaching, during MRA. I did quite a few coaching. I started right away. And I realized that the feedback I was getting was, you're in your element. I found my purpose in life. MRA will always be a place where people can find themselves, whether they do anything with it. You don't ever have to make a dime off of this to get the benefit of finding who you are and how you talk to your kids differently and how I look at the world and how I interact with people that I really care about. And how I've realized that because I'm in my purpose, I get the privilege, I get the opportunity to serve somebody else, to put them in their purpose. So MRA gave me the ability to recognize it in myself and also celebrate it. When people are excited to talk to me, when people are excited to hear what I have to say, it doesn't feel narcissistic. It doesn't feel bad. It's very hard to celebrate that in yourself. I was celebrated enough through the MRA that I was given permission to celebrate myself. And I did not expect that. That is not what I signed up for. Giving myself the permission to dig into it has allowed me to give somebody else the permission to dig. Like, you can be in this office here and you can dig into your values. You can say, this is not working for me, or this is working for me. And guess what? You don't even have to act on it. It's also given me a place of like a judgment-free zone because I was never judged inside the MRA. It's absolutely an investment rather than an elective or a luxury item. The MRA gave me the permission to be who I was unapologetically. And basically, I've built my life around that now. So we sold our business. We sold one of our businesses, and I had my office in that place. And in that old space was the first meeting I had with Taryn. I was shocked that I was going to get 30 minutes with the founder of MRA. I was fangirling hard. I had already stocked significantly on Taryn, and I was in my office in that space. That space was a wine bar. I had already quit drinking, so it already felt a little bit not me. We sold the wine bar business, and I moved my office across the street into a different building that we own. I hadn't even started the MRA yet. And I walked into this space and said, well, this is where I'm going to coach. I hadn't started a business. I didn't know what it looked like. I was just like, well, this is where I'm going to coach. I had the help of two people that were very close to me, help me design it, help me make it very warm and inviting and comfortable and pleasurable. And I would sit in a different space, but same office. I would sit here on Wednesdays and do our classes. And as the MRA classes went on, I still remember sitting right where I am right now with the Zoom call on and thinking to myself, I don't really know if this is for me. I love the tools. I love the stories. I loved all of it. But I was like, I don't think I'm a very good coach. I remember thinking in these peer coaching sessions that like, I felt really good about what I was doing, but I was like, I'm not following the rules. I'm not inside the rules. But I felt really good about what I was doing, so it felt sort of confusing. And then about 4 months in, I was like, oh, I get it. I see the arc of the conversation. I see how this goes. It took me so long to get there, and I had to sort of fight my way through. Also, I have never finished a course in my life. This sounds crazy, and I've done very expensive courses and quit. This is the only one I've ever graduated from. And then my office got cleaned up. I moved it around a little bit. And all of a sudden I flipped on the fireplace one day and I was like, oh my God, I am home. And earlier this week, I had my first coaching intensive with a mother-son real estate team. I walked into my office that morning and I opened up the door. I turned on all the lights. I turned on the fireplace. I lit the candles. I got all the little food ready. I had coffee ready for everybody. And I walked back through the door after I had it all ready. And I came in and I thought, oh my God, I didn't even know I had this dream until it actually came true. I knew I wanted to coach somebody in an intensive. I wanted to use that space, but I didn't really know it until it was already there. And that day turned out better than I could have ever imagined. I also knew it was right because I wasn't nervous. I was so excited. I felt so prepared, which talk about trusting myself. I've never been prepared for anything, but I was prepared. I mean, everything just like came together, and environment is one of my 5 core values, environment, space. And I felt so at home. I couldn't help but connect this directly to the MRA because it was so clearly connected to everything I did in the MRA without knowing. I just like sort of did that on a whim. I was like, somebody told me I would be a good coach and that I should be making money off my advice instead of having coffee with people. And I was like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. We'll start that business. And then all of a sudden I was like, wow, this is actually a business and people want to hear from me and people want to work with me and they want to be in this space because I've created the space, not just like my physical space with a really pretty fireplace, but also my space. People want to be around me. And I have always felt horrible about accepting that. It's not a new thing. It's not like I went through the MRA and now people want to be around me. It was just like refined and permissive. I just got permission to celebrate it rather than diminish it. And now I get to like shine. I don't know how to say it any differently. I just, for all the people that have said like, you're such a bright, shiny light when you walk through the door. Now I get to be the bright, shiny light. I don't just get to say, oh, thanks, you're being silly or whatever. I get to be like, oh, I am. And when I embrace it, I just get to do more of it. And now that I've embraced it, I just get to create more space for people to feel like they can do whatever they want to do, whatever it looks like. We get into dreaming these big, huge dreams. Like my brother just sent me a castle. I was like, I think we could probably do it. Like that's not out of my realm. Like I have seen that now. And if I let that ruminate for long enough, and I think that the universe is like, yeah, she probably needs a castle, I think I could probably get it. That's not really out of the possibility for me because I'm doing what I think I was meant to do. And that's where all the money is. I think when we are doing what we are meant to do, I think that's where all the money is. And the MRA gave me the opportunity to give myself permission to live my purpose, period.